So I'm sure every one of you guys have had a water leak somewhere, sometime in your house, and you know what a pain in that butt that is to try to, fix the leak, and or if you got damage, fighting with the insurance companies. And so today I've got a product for you. These are some leak detectors that you can put throughout your house. They come with like a 100 decibel alarm, and these things are so sensitive that it's supposed to be able to read up to like 0.4 millimeters of water. And that's really small. I know we don't use the metric system here in the South, but just to give you an idea, I guess that's one Peter hair. One Peter hair. I know, I'm being goofy today. But anyways, these things are really sensitive, and just a little bit of water will set these things off and give you a 100 decibel alarm, and that way you can go fix the leak. I know there's some out there, some leak detectors out there that are more advanced, that can connect to Wi-Fi and all that. But if you don't have good Wi-Fi and you don't want to connect all of this stuff to the Wi-Fi and go through all that hassle, then you can just get something like this with batteries. And speaking of batteries, it does come with enough batteries to power all 5 of these detectors. So you can get all 5 of these and the batteries for like $40. So I figured that was pretty good. And so we're gonna test it out today. That's why I got a plate here with some water and a straw. I'm just gonna drip a little bit of water on this plate and test and see, just how sensitive they are. I've not tested these before. This will be the first time. I just wanted to try them out because I got some for the house here, and I paid for these with my own money, and so just wanted to pretty much just show them off. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and open these. Like I said, it comes with the batteries, and then it also comes with like a little guitar pick in here. And I know it's not a guitar pick, that's what it looks like, but it's a little trim tool basically. And if you look here on the sensor, it's got a little spot right there. You can just slide this little pick in and twist it, and it'll help pry it apart. You see right there, it pries apart. Now, I know what you're thinking. Some of these have like watch batteries in them, those little button cell batteries, and I'm glad that these don't. I'm glad these take AAA batteries. Now you might have to go to the other side and use this pick to open it up, to pry it up just like that. It does have a little rubberized seal all the way around it, so you're not going to get water inside of it and damage it. But you can see there's enough wires there where you can open it up and put your 2 AAA batteries in there. And you can see right here, this is wired to the little siren speaker right there. And then right here, these wires are wired to the sensors here on top. So if water drips on top of it, it's going to sound the alarm. And then also you've got 4 sensors here on the bottom, and so if it's sitting in water, it's going to alarm that way. So I like that it has the sensors on the top and the bottom. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and put some batteries in this thing, and then we're going to test. All right, so I just wanted to show you up close. This is where you take your little tool and pry up here on the end, and then you can pry all the way around the edges, and then there's your battery compartment. And most of you guys know how to put a battery in. You got the little spring there on the bottom, and then you got this one here on the top, and you seen it lit up red as soon as I put the batteries in there. And then you can take and just kind of put it back on there even, and then press with your fingers, and then you heard it seal as soon as I mashed it down. Then you got a test button here on top. So yeah, you can tell that thing's going to be loud. And so it says that the battery life can last up to 2 years. And if you're wondering if the battery's dead or not, you can always just test it. Plus, it does have a low battery alarm, so it'll alert you when the batteries start going dead. So I thought that was pretty neat. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and do some scientific stuff now. We're going to go ahead and test it. I've got just a kitchen plate here and some water and a straw, and my whole goal is not to put much water on this plate. I just want to see how sensitive the sensors are. And there you go. So I dried it off to see if it would turn off or not, and I couldn't get it to, but I had to mash the test button to get it to turn off. So guys, I just wanted to check it out for myself to see if it worked. So let's try it again. Yeah, you can't dry it off. You have to reset it basically. But yeah, you can see that thing works really good. It's really shocked. Let's just see if it'll go off if it's just barely touching one. So and yeah, it's not going to go off if it touches one. All right, so we're going to do a test, and we're going to see if we know all four, if they're submerged in that water, then it'll alarm. And we test it with just one, and we couldn't get it to work with just one. But we're going to test it and see if two can work, just being, submerged with water. So I'm going to set it down on a dry plate. There's no water there. And then my girlfriend's going to take and use a straw and drop a little water on those two front sensors and see how long it takes to go off. All right, so literally probably 4 or 5 droplets of water. So literally probably, whoop, there it goes again. So literally probably 4 or 5 drops of water before this thing sound an alarm. And it does work if it only touches 2, but it doesn't work if it's only touching 1. So, you can see right there, just me touching water with my finger, it's not going to go off. So here on top, you can see that it's got the little probes there, the little leak detector probes, whatever they're called. And we're going to drop a little bit of water on those with a straw. Just try to get one little drop. There it goes. Let's see if that works. You can see that that one drop is kind of running across the two. There it goes. There it goes. You can see with that one drop of water set it off. So I gotta say, I'm very pleased with these little things. They work really well, and like it said in the listing, it doesn't require much water to set these things off. And they're loud enough where you could hear them across your house. Let's say if you're at home, you're definitely going to hear these things. And so if you're wondering where all you could put them, obviously keep one up under the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink. Let's say you've got a basement with a sump pump, you could keep one by the sump pump in case it quit working. You don't want all that stuff backing up. Literally you could keep one by your toilets, where the water, inlet is there. Or let's just say you had a toilet that backs up. You don't want to have to clean up sewage and all that. And you don't have to worry about these things rusting or water getting inside of them. They're IP66 rated, and so they're made out of ABS plastic and stainless steel, so nothing's going to rust on here. And so it really looks like a really nice unit. And I don't think you can go wrong with it. $40 for 5 of them plus the batteries, that's pretty cheap. And it does they do sell them in the singles, but they're $15 just for one. So you're much better off just going ahead and getting the kit with the battery. And if you don't like the white, it does come in black. So I just think this is a pretty good product. Now, like I said, they do have some that are more advanced that can hook to Wi-Fi and things like that. But how much of a pain in the butt is that going to be to set up? And if you got older parents or family members, this is just be the easiest way, because they're going to be at home most of the time, and they might not hear or pay attention to a leak. But if they hear an alarm going off, you're definitely going to hear this thing across the house. I got actually 2 sets for the house here, and I just think it's a pretty neat product. So anyways, try some out. I'll put a link in the description down below. That way, if you're interested in them, you don't have to search for them on Amazon. I'm sure there's a bunch of companies that make these, but as you've seen, we tested these and they work great. And like I said, you don't have to buy the batteries. It comes with all the batteries and the little tool to get in there, and very easy to operate. So thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, see ya.